What's going on, everyone? You want to get rid of that ghost pedaling feeling? Have a lot more feeling in the pedals at higher speeds on your e-bike? Well, I'm going to show you how to do it, a quick and easy way to do it, and I'm going to use the City Robin X to demonstrate. All right, everybody, let's talk about getting a little bit more feeling in the pedals when you're at higher speeds on an e-bike. I'm going to use the City Robin X to demonstrate. I did do a whole review video on this bike if you're interested. It's a skinnier tire. It's more of a bicycle feeling when you ride this, kind of a refined commuter bike feeling. Still has good power, great top speed at like 28 miles an hour, and it's a lot lighter weight than the fat tire bikes. I think these are 27.5 by like 2.1 is the width on those, but I've been getting this question a lot more lately, and it's always kind of phrased to me in the same way. People come to me on comments or emails and they say, I'm ghost pedaling, I got no feeling in the pedals when I get up to a higher speed. Should I change out the rear freewheel? Should I, this is a 1428 on there. Should I change that to an 1132? Will that gearing change help me with that ghost feeling pedaling? And I always say, yes, it probably will, but why go through the hassle of changing this? Because if you think about it, you're gonna have to unplug the motor, remove the rear wheel, get it around the derailleur, and then once you've got the wheel off, you're gonna have to remove the freewheel, which you need a special tool for that, which is right here, Freewheel Removal Tool. But a lot of times, like this is just a regular one you can buy on Amazon. But the thing is, a lot of times, you know, the motor plug comes out of this side, right? So you got the motor plug coming out of here, and it's got a big old fat plug end on it, and it won't go through this tool. So you literally can't use this tool at all. You have to go buy a special one of these. And the only place I know that sells them is Area 13 e-bikes. They'll sell one with a wider hole in it so you can get the motor plug through there to even be able to get on there to take it off. I think they're like 50 or 60 bucks and they're back ordered like 3 months. So instead of going through the hassle of taking the wheel off, buying the special tool, removing the freewheel, there's a much easier way to do this. And also too, I always say, you know, are you really going to use that bigger gear ratio, 1132, when the majority of the e-bikers don't even shift anyway? So you're not even going to use that wider gear set anyway. So the easier way to do it is just change the front chainring, right? So I've got one here. This on this bike is a 42 tooth front chainring, and this upgraded one is a 50. So we're going up 8 teeth. And it's not too bad on this bike with the 42. And that's because it's got the 27.5-inch tire package on here. I've had a 20-inch wheel bike with a 42 on it, and you just lose feeling in the pedals so easily. 24 miles an hour, there's no feeling at all. This bike, I would say I've got feeling in the pedals and can pedal up to maybe 25, 26 miles an hour. And at that point, you kind of lose the feeling a little bit. And if I'm going 27 miles an hour on this bike, I just stop pedaling. You're just pedaling like a maniac. So when I'm riding this around, it's usually 10 to 12 miles an hour. I'm just kind of easily cruising. I've got it in 6 mechanical gear out of 7, and I'm in pedal assist 1. I just hit the throttle as needed. And it works. It works on this bike, but it could be better. If you're going to try to do any higher speed and have actual feeling in the pedals at a higher speed, you need to upgrade this. You need to go bigger than 42. But keep that in mind. If you're looking at a 20-inch wheel bike, you know, those wheels get spinning real fast. You're going to lose feeling in the pedals really, really quickly if it only has a 42. So look for a bigger one on a smaller bike. This bike, we're going to switch it out. This is from Euphree. They don't have it listed on their website, but they did send me this so I could make this swap. If you've got a City Robin and you want to do this, just, you know, email their support team and ask for one of these. I'm sure they can probably hook you up with a 50 tooth front chainring. And this is way simpler to install. I mean, really all you gotta do is take an Allen wrench, right, and put it in here, remove this bolt, and then you need a crank puller right here. I bought this on Amazon for $9.99. This is what takes this front crank off. You thread this in here, and then the centerpiece, when you twist this, the centerpiece pushes out and just pops that crank right off of there. It'll only take a couple turns to get it off of there. And you pop the new one on and you're done. I mean, it's a 5-minute job really, and it will completely change the feeling that you've got in the pedals. I've done this before. This will fit multiple bikes. I think this is kind of like a standard size. I used this on my Red Rover when I switched it out on that bike as well. This is the quick and easy way to get more feeling in your pedals. Let's get the new one on there. All right, well, let's get this original 42 tooth front crank off of here. First thing you're going to want to do is just loosen this up right here and take this Allen bolt out of the center like this. There you go. We're going to take that piece out. Now you can see there's threads inside here, and then the crank puller is also threaded. So you'll spin this in, thread it, and then once it's in there and tight, you'll spin the centerpiece. And hopefully you can see that that centerpiece just pushes out like that, and then push the crank right off of there, or pull it off, since this is a crank puller, right? And it pulls it right off of there. So let's thread this in here. Again, I've used the same one on other bikes. I think it's kind of a universal size on these. We're going to use a 15 millimeter wrench, I believe it is on this. There you go. I won't make it crazy tight. It's pretty tight. I guess you could either use a wrench on this or possibly just put the Allen. Yeah, that fits in there too. Let's use that. Tighten that. Now we're going to tighten the centerpiece, and it should start pushing on that and hopefully get it out of there. It gets pretty tough at the beginning. You really got to put a little bit of force into it. And then as it slowly pulls it off of there, it'll get easier. You'll feel it getting easier. But I mean, I'm putting a decent amount of force in it here. Get that in there just right. There we go. I can already feel it getting a little bit easier. It's taking longer. There you go. Now it got a lot easier. Okay, should be getting pretty loose coming off of there. Let's see, I can see it moving. Ready? Oh, there you go. Came right off. Let's get the chain off of it here. So there you go. That's how easy it was to pop that off. That's a lot simpler than messing with everything here at the back of the bike, all right? So let's get this crank puller out of here. Fast, we don't need that anymore. You can kind of see how it threads in there. Like that. So these are cheap. They're like $9 online. And we got this off. So now we got to do is pop the new one on. You got to make sure you get the crank arms opposing each other, so your pedals are lined up right. Now, the last time I did this, I wasn't sure exactly how to get it on there. I think I just took a rubber mallet and kind of whacked it on there to push it on as far as it would go. And that seemed to work. It's been fine. So I'm probably going to do that again. All right, I just took a closer look at this post right here, and it's square and it's kind of tapered. So, you know, the harder you push this on there, the tighter it's going to get. So I'm just going to get it started on there and just whack it a few times, I think. All right, I think that should be good. Again, I am not an expert whatsoever at all. I'm not a bicycle guy. I just do stuff to bikes. So maybe there's a better way to get that on there. I don't know. Somebody can put it in the comments. What's the appropriate way to get that seated on there correctly? But I usually just smack it a few times with the good old rubber mallet and get it pushed on there. Do I think it's secure? And then we put the screw back in and tighten it up, and we're good to go. Of course, we got to put the pedal back on, and then you're all set. Get this tightened up. But I mean, literally 5-minute job to do this, and you're going to get way more feeling out of the pedals. Now we got to get the chain back on. See if I can get some slack from the derailleur here. Go around the front. There we go. I believe now, in theory, I think you're supposed to maybe add a link or two into the chain if you wanted to be perfect about it. I think it's fine. I've done this before. I haven't really experienced any issues with not putting an extra link or two in there. So I think you're okay not adding any more links, but I'll let you know if I run into any problems with that. But let's put the pedal on and go for a ride. All right, well, there's what she looks like in the sunlight. It doesn't have the silver accents on it, but it still looks good. It matches the flat black. A little bit larger. You don't really notice it that much on the looks. You can barely tell it's different. But I tell you where you notice it. I mean, I can notice it immediately jumping on this bike, even in the lower gears. You just feel the difference in the pedals immediately. I just ran it through all the gears. It does shift all the way 1 through 7. When you're in first gear, the chain's rubbing a little bit on that front chainring. It's, I think, just an angle. Maybe I don't have it pushed on the whole way there. I don't know. I don't really use that first gear anyway, so not really worried about that. I'm gonna bump it up. Let's go into the higher gears. Let's go into, what's that, 5, 6, all the way up to 7. So there's me pedaling at 10 miles an hour in 7th gear. There's a lot of feeling in these pedals right now, but I want to run it up to top speed so you can get an idea of what it looks like pedaling at top speed. So we're in 7th gear. There you go. I still have some feeling. You're pedaling fast, but way better than it used to be. I can put force into the pedals even at 29 miles an hour. I could never do that before. So it gives you a lot more feeling in the pedals. I do have some side-by-sides here to show you the difference of the old chainring, the 42 versus the 50, the new chainring. So you can see pedaling at 25, 26-ish miles an hour. You can see the speed difference between the two. It's not crazy dramatic, but it's definitely, you definitely have a way more feeling in the pedals. It's a good upgrade. I'm glad I did this. You can judge for yourself if you think it's something you want to do. It's really easy and simple. I'm not sure how much those are, probably 50, 60 bucks. I can't remember. I've bought a couple of them, done this change multiple times, but it's kind of a cheap, easy fix to get more feeling in the pedals. Like even this is too much. I'm just casually pedaling in 7th. It's too much. 5th is better. I say 4th and 5th is probably where I want to be, just doing this 9, 10 mile an hour pedaling, which it used to be 6 that I was in, I think. So you gain a little bit of feeling there. Solve the ghost pedal problem. Hope you found that helpful. If you did, and you like content like this, do me a favor and consider hitting that subscribe button. Checking out some more of my playlist. Check out the Euphree City Robin if you're interested in this bike. Very comfortable, quick little city commuter bike. I like this one a lot. Might be doing some more minor tweaks to this one. We'll see. That's all I got for you today. Thanks for watching.